six. Bond stands alone.
17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead.
Washington outside left. Roethlisberger has time. Throws to the back of the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown by Holmes.
Minute remaining, and they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yes. What is up? Welcome to Taproom Sports Podcast. I am your host, Jordan. Stacks on stacks, lads. Joined with my man, Mr. Big Ballin, Ben Larson. What's going on tonight, Ben?
Not much, man. Enjoying the weekend. Got to see a Giants game today. Got to go out to the ballpark, enjoy a nice sunny day in the city. Drinking some great beer. Cannot complain whatsoever. How you doing?
Man, awesome day. Awesome
Love
weekend. NFL is back, dude. Preseason football. It's been
Great
absolutely
football.
crazy, which we'll get to in a little bit. And then baseball, I mean, we got a lot of important series this weekend, and we got some important ones coming up tomorrow. And we are really coming down to the wire, Ben, and this has been a great year of baseball.
It's crazy to think that we're coming down to the wire and still have 50 games left in the season. But it's
like
gonna be
47 now for some
on the
teams.
team.
Yeah. But yeah, it is we have a month and a half left basically.
Yeah. And
this is the dog days of summer. This is the best part about Major League Baseball, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So I've been excited, man. It was a great weekend. Almost hit a mega parlay today, Ben. I was one game off on an 8-leg parlay.
Ooh, that was hurt.
And I had Royals money line on it, which was plus 240. Wow. I had Pirates plus 1.5, which was plus 110. So I mean, the odds were unbelievable. $25 was gonna win me almost $3,000.
Yikes!
And I was one game off. The fucking Brewers plus 130. They were going against Mikolas. Mikolas has given up I think it was 17 runs in his last 2 starts.
Yep.
And shuts down the Brewers. Fuck the Brewers.
Did you do money line or run line?
I did Brewers money line, but even they would have lost the run line too because they lost by fucking 4 runs.
Yep.
Yeah, because Pujols hit 2 home runs, including a 3-run home run. So, that's how baseball goes, man. That's just how it is, man. And we're gonna get to baseball momentarily, but I'm drinking a new brewery tonight, Ben.
Yeah, that's really cool. Stoked to hear about that because I've got 2 that are from kind of go-to breweries, that I'm sipping on it. I think we kind of lean towards that a lot is going to those go-to breweries that we know are good and produce good beer. So I'm excited to hear, about your new brewery, and you've got 2 beers from that new brewery, which is exciting to see. You get to make sure that it's not just one that you either like or don't like. You get to see kind of the fluctuation of what that brewer can do. So,
yep.
So why are we talking about beer is because we wanted to make this podcast be a podcast that we were sitting around at a bar, at a brewery, drinking beer, talking sports. And we've tried to really pull in a lot of kind of the beer aspect of this podcast. And since that we're going to be drinking 2 beers and reviewing 2 beers per podcast, giving them an out of 5 ranking, talking about their smells, their taste, their crispness, how that mouthfeel goes, what flavors are really kind of punctuated from those beers that we're drinking. And hopefully if you're in our areas, if you're in the area of the breweries, that you'll be able to try these beers and, really see if your palate agrees with what our palate is going for. And a way that you can get these beers is by going to devour.com, download the Devour app, use promo code Taproom when signing up, and you can get $10 off your first purchase of $25 or more. In some cases, that's 2 free beers. All you have to do, go on the app, press some buttons, boom, it's at your doorstep. It's that easy.
Hell yeah.
That easy. So what's this new brewery? What's beer number 1 from it?
So this is from Dewey Beer. Have you ever heard?
I've heard of it. I've never tried it.
Yeah, so this is from
I don't
Dewey
know where it's
Beer.
from.
They're out of Delaware, Ben.
Okay.
So out of Delaware, what's the exact city here? Harbison, Delaware. I've never been to Delaware. I don't even know where Harbison is. But this is the American Experience IPA.
There we go.
Let me get that focused in there. There we go. IPA 7%. Doesn't really say anything about the beer, so I don't know much about it. I don't even know what hops are in it. It smells like, it definitely has like a citrus type smell. So I definitely think there's like citra hops in here, maybe even some fruit.
Yep.
Like a pineapple.
Mosaic hops.
Yeah,
in there.
Yeah, but definitely citra hops.
It's an IPA, so you're probably going to be getting those flavors out of the hops, not necessarily a fruit additive to it, but very well could be.
Yeah, but a lot of these breweries like to use like, especially pineapple, because it's so sugary to like ferment now.
Yep.
But yeah, this one, the aroma smells good. Doesn't really remind me of an American Experience, but that's okay. Excited to drink this one, and then I'm gonna be bringing it back with a sour at the end, and sours are my shindig. So
yep.
Excited, man. Excited to drink a new brewery. I'm always stoked to drink beers from different places. Someone reached out to me, Ben, he works at a brewery in Guam.
Interesting.
And he's gonna be sending me some beers. I don't know how they're gonna get here, and if it'll even pass into the country, but he's trying to get me beers to get to do on the show.
Interesting. Hell yeah.
So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that
international episode. Let me know when that is, and I'll try and get some some international beers for that podcast, and we'll do a theme there.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. But Guam's like pretty much America now, so
yeah,
it's a lot of Americans over there. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. What are you sipping on tonight?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go the other route. I'm gonna start with the sour today,
okay.
And I'm gonna be going from the brewery, which is out of Placentia, California, 5.6%. This is another Ghost, like I had last week, and this is called Ghosts Are Red, and this is a fodder aged kind of beer. What I am worried a little bit about it is a wheat ale kind of base to it. So we'll see how thick and how heavy it is. I mean, it doesn't necessarily look that thick or heavy. And
it's got a beautiful color already, though.
And yeah, it is. It is definitely a crisp and I'd say kind of a clear beer. It's not your hazy type. But it does also have Syrah grapes in there, which is where we get that kind of red color out of it. Little also worried about it having coriander in it. I know just with my palate, coriander isn't necessarily a kind of a spice that I tend to lean towards, especially as this beer gets a little bit warmer.
Right.
It is going to have that coriander kind of pop open a little bit more and kind of become more of a more pronounced taste. So we'll see how this turns out with it cold, as it's kind of poured at its ideal temperature. Yeah. It's a great tasting beer, but I'm a little interested to see how it's going to go.
What brewery is that from?
The brewery.
The brewery's really good. They make some really good stuff.
Great. Yep. So
you know how like beers go in trends, right?
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago, even last year, I felt like sours were like really popular.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you think because I remember, you and I were talking with Ryan and Howard, and we were talking about where we thought beer was going. Mm-hmm. And each of us kind of like thought something different. Like some of us thought pilsners, lagers.
Yep. But
I don't see a lot of pilsners and lagers popping up.
I'm seeing a lot of pilsners coming up, and maybe that's just at local breweries. Is that you're always going to have one, maybe two.
Yeah, they're always going to have a pilsner.
Yeah. So I definitely have seen pilsners kind of play a higher role. I think we've seen a lot of West Coast IPAs coming out, at least from where we're at. West Coast
Stouts.
pales. Yeah,
Stouts are more usually normally winter, but
yeah, I think we'll get the stouts and kind of more flavored stouts. I think are going to be big this winter. Just adding a little bit of a fruit flavor to it, or a that kind of desserty flavor to it, just to kind of pronounce it a little bit more.
yeah.
But I think we're going to see stouts really ramp up, like you said, in that winter time. And that's probably going to be a go-to coming up.
Dude, I can't do stouts, bro.
Stouts are getting a lot better. The one I had last week was great.
They're just like,
that was from the brewery.
They're just
and
too.
that was that banana bread.
They're just like too heavy for me, dude. Like,
Yeah, it is like you're drinking motor oil.
Yeah, like I don't know, dude. Like when I drink a beer, like I want to sit back and relax, dude. I don't want to like sit there like I'm fucking eating a loaf of bread, like I'm on Man vs. Food, dude. You know what I mean? I'm like sweating out trying to finish the thing. You know what I mean? Like,
well, maybe a porter is where you need to go to. Not as thick, but
yeah, I don't even like porters, man. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, I think I just had like a bad experience with that one.
Yeah,
and
that chocolate one.
Yeah,
right?
dude, and like from one of my favorite breweries too. And ever since then, dude, like the thought of a stout gives me the same thought of like Captain Morgan, dude. When I think of Captain Morgan,
yeah. I want to get another one of those breweries. One it was a little thick, but that banana walnut bread one that I had last week was really good stout.
That one, like when you were reading it off, obviously I didn't taste it. But the way you're like reading off the ingredients and stuff sounds like it's actually appetizing.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. It wasn't too banana-y, not too walnutty. Still had that kind of stout flavor to it.
Banana-y and walnutty.
Really well.
I like it.
Now
I like it. All right, let's hop into some sports, man. Because we got a lot to talk about. I mean, we're already 11 minutes in. Let's talk about some NFL. NFL kicked off this week. For those of you that have been tuning in throughout the summer, it's obviously been very MLB heavy. We're going to start transitioning to football. Obviously, on this show, we're going to be talking a lot of NFL. Once NFL season actually starts, we're going to be really recapping NFL Sunday night and then looking ahead to Monday Night Football. And then Irvin and I will be looking ahead to college football. And then during the week, we'll be really looking forward to NFL. But we will not stop the baseball coverage. I promise we will continue to do baseball until the season wraps up. Especially because basically myself, Ben, and Irvin, that's one of our favorite sports. So we'll definitely continue that NFL. But NFL preseason started this week. And a lot of people are like, it's just preseason. Like, it doesn't count. It really doesn't. But you can learn a lot about some teams, and not necessarily players, because you're not going to see important players play. But one thing I learned from watching the Raiders and Vikings game today, Ben, was that the Vikings have no depth on their defense, dude. Like and that was an issue last year. Remember they had all those injuries, and then their defense started sucking.
And it's crazy because the Vikings had such a good defense 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
year 3, year 4, that was one of the top defenses in the NFL.
Yep.
And it has just completely same coach, but everything
different coach now. Mike Zimmer's gone.
Oh, okay.
But
that's right.
But still, like a lot of the players carried over, and but they're just not deep.
Yeah.
So like that was a thing that popped out to me. I mean, the Raiders had a play 3rd and 24, Ben, and the Raiders got 23 yards, and then the next play ran for like 6 yards on 4th and 1. Yeah. I mean, these players that were on the Vikings, it's like obviously they're like 3rd, 4th stringers. They're probably not even going to make the team, but you still want to put film out there to try and make a team.
Yeah. And
it was just atrocious, dude. I was like, wow, this is some awful, awful football, dude. Like, this should not be happening. But I mean, the preseason's been crazy because last year it started and the unders were hitting like crazy. Unders were like 9-1 in the first 10 games last year. This year it's a complete opposite. I mean, we were at a point where it was 8-0 to the over.
Yeah.
And then finally it kind of balanced out a little bit. We ended the week 14-3 hitting the overs. So if you're betting preseason, because I don't typically like to bet sides on the preseason because honestly, like coaches say one thing and then do another. Like Kyle Shanahan was like, "I'm gonna play my starters a little bit, dude." The guy played his starters like the first entire quarter.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
with
So
2 drives. Yeah.
it changed like a lot of how that game played out, in my opinion. And I bet the under in that game, and I fucking immediately regretted it after the first quarter. I was like, "Well, this is a loss."
Yeah.
So I mean, the big thing about preseason is it's very information based. So if you're sitting on Twitter and getting information, you're more likely to win. I was actually looking good in the preseason until I bet the under in the Raiders Vikings game, because I keep betting the under.
Well, I think something that we can take into account this year is that's different from last year, and why there's such a different in the influx of unders versus overs, is that we're seeing the starters get a drive, 2 drives in the first game of the preseason. We didn't see that last year. They
depends on the
until
team.
Yeah, but even then, like, majority of the teams would not put their starters in for that 1 drive, 2 drives until game 3 of the preseason, and then they'd finally get their snaps.
Because like there are some games where there's teams that are fighting for positions. Like that's why the Steelers versus Seahawks team, those are 2 teams that are where they have quarterbacks that are playing to start, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I pounded the over in that.
Yeah.
And it hit the closing number, it hit the opening number, like it hit everything. And the number went from, I think it opened 33.5 and closed at like 39. You know what I mean? Like we don't see those kind of line movements very often, but everyone was pounding the over and rightfully so, because they had, Pittsburgh has 3 quarterbacks fighting for a job.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle had 2. So it's like those kind of situations you definitely want to handicap, like put those in, like, okay, these teams, they have quarterbacks that are fighting for a job. Washington, I saw a lot of people were on Washington, even though they were playing Carolina. Carolina had a quarterback battle, but a lot of people liked Washington because they said they were going to play Carson Wentz, so because he's getting new, he's adapting to the new system, right? Mm. And then they had Heineke, who's been in the system, and then they have Sam Howell, who's who's one of the best college quarterbacks in the last 2 years. Sam Howell looked really nice too. Yeah. But Carolina wins the game because PJ Walker balled out.
Exactly. And who would have thought PJ Walker would be the one to ball out? So
it's just things you got to think about when you're handicapping a preseason game. Yeah. It's kind of why you like typically stay away from the Rams, because the Rams aren't going to play any starters.
Yeah.
Any.
And they did, and they won. And they didn't, and they still won.
Yeah, but neither did the Chargers. Chargers didn't really play many starters either. But one team you could bet on is the Baltimore Ravens, because they've won 21 in a row preseason games. John Harbaugh's going to play to win the game. Yep. And that's kind of how Josh McDaniels is now too. Like he's going for it on 4th down twice now in 2 games when his team's winning. So, I mean, it's just things you want to keep in mind. What did you think about any preseason, like, maybe your Niners, Trey Lance?
The Niners game, I was, it was a good first quarter for Trey Lance. I mean, I think that first drive that he had was definitely a productive drive, giving options into the field. Again, it's not going to be his starting lineup, so it's definitely a little tough to see what he can really do with what's available. But he did push the pocket, push the ball downfield. That 74-yard pass to Gray it was
almost picked off too.
It was not almost picked off.
It like went through the defender, tried to pick it off, I should say. He tried to cut in front of the route.
Yeah. But no, it wasn't almost picked off. It was it was, thank God for Gray's speed. He's going to be an interesting addition to the wide receiver core, once he gets more reps in there. But I liked seeing what Lance did in the pocket when, he did take that extra step this year in, being able to read what's coming at him. And at least what I saw him do within that first drive was see what was coming at him, take a step up, then make the decision, instead of automatically making that decision as someone's coming at him and not getting that step up to give him another half second, another second there to make either a better pass or run the ball. He got an 8-yard run down, when that happened. So
the Packers didn't start any of their defensive starters.
That's very true.
The one thing about Trey Lance in the Niners, is that like there's all these conflicting reports coming out of their camp that it's like he's struggling, and then there's others that are like he's making nice throws. And I keep trying to, like, Irv and I were talking about this the other day, and I was telling him, I was like, bro, you got to take camp reports into consideration, because that could mean a variety of different things. Maybe that means the Niners defense is that good, which we know the Niners defense is good, right?
Yeah.
Or, maybe Trey Lance isn't where we thought he was going to be. Like, there's so many different factors that could be going on, and you got to kind of put that into perspective. And I thought that, yeah, Trey Lance looked good against the Packers, dude, for sure. He was like 4 for 5 for, I think, 92 yards and a touchdown in 2 drives. But he was going against the Packers' second defense, whereas in practice he's going against the Niners' first defense.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot that's still unknown. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? I got to see it play out before I put my finger on it. And I feel like it's a lot of that in the preseason, but I do want to see what teams have depth in the preseason. And I also want to see teams fight, because that shows that the coaches are like coaching guys up and they're fighting for coaches. You know what I mean?
Well, I think you talked about that earlier in our, the Seahawks and Steelers, and seeing what the Steelers did, with all 3 of their QBs. Like you had all 3 have a pretty good game. I mean, Trubisky 4 for 7, Rudolph 9 for 15, and Pickett 13 for 15. Like, I think Pickett just passed over Mason Rudolph. I mean, I don't think that's really hard to do. But
I was gonna say Rudolph still can't throw the ball downfield though.
Yeah, but in that performance, that just kind of placed him ahead in, probably being that number 2 guy. And I think that was only done because you saw what he did in that last 2 minutes to get that game-winning touchdown, and really push the pace for the Steelers to see what they really have in the future there. So, like, that was something that I really did enjoy seeing, was not only both teams having QB pushes throughout the whole game. I mean, obviously, Seattle didn't do as much throwing as Pittsburgh did, in my opinion, because they had a better kind of run game. But I think it was still a fun game and a good way to kind of see what these QB races, what these QB fights are going to be about.
Yeah.
I don't know who's better, Drew Lock or Geno Smith.
No, I mean, that's a tough one, dude. I mean, Drew Lock has like talent for sure. Like, he has great arm talent. He just makes dumbass decisions. That's kind of similar to Sam Darnold. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes dudes, and especially when their confidence gets rocked too, like, there's just no going back. You know what I mean?
So what do you think about Sam Darnold? I mean, you had PJ Walker ball out.
Well, I mean, I
think he's not going to be their number 1, but
nah. I mean, that's Baker's team for sure. They wouldn't have traded for Baker if that wasn't the case.
It's Sam's team right now.
Nah, it's Baker's.
He was out there first drive. He was
Baker was out there first drive. Baker started the game. But Sam Darnold, like, at this point, like, I just think the Panthers know what they have of Sam Darnold, right? They know what's there, and we've kind of seen this play out. And I think Sam Darnold, obviously, I'm a big USC fan. I know Sam Darnold has a lot of talent. I've seen it. I've seen him drag a bad USC team to a Rose Bowl win over Penn State.
Yeah.
But he's in his own head, dude. And that's kind of the thing, is like, we see this with multiple sports, Ben, especially like baseball. When pitchers get into their head and like they never go back, it's unexplainable, to be honest. But yeah, the Panthers, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody gets hurt, Ben, and they trade for Sam Darnold and the Panthers give him up and just have PJ Walker back him up, because I don't think that's a huge drop off. You know what I mean? Like PJ Walker can obviously come in and run the offense. I think Sam Darnold, he got to go to another team again, you know, and get another chance. I don't know if he ever will, to be honest. It's going to take like somebody getting hurt when he's a backup, but it just sucks, dude, because I know Sam's a talented kid, but Panthers got to move on. You know what I mean? Like, they can't just sit there and keep saying, like, okay, when he figures it out or when he gets confident. Like, no, they don't have that time, dude. Yeah. Like, Matt Rule's job is on the line.
Oh, absolutely.
And Baker Mayfield, in my opinion, right now, I hate to say this, but he's a better quarterback than Sam right now.
Yeah, I definitely see that.
You know,
definitely see that. So I got a question for you on, you know, another football route is Cleveland Browns. Is it pretty much done for the season if you have your number 2 wide receiver and your only QB out for the season?
No, they have enough talent, dude. They have enough.
And a running back who wants to trade.
I mean,
their number 2 running back. I mean, definitely not there.
The thing with Deshaun Watson is, like, obviously there's no other quarterback on that roster as talented as him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Jacoby Brissett can, like, keep the ship afloat through the first 6 games or 8 games.
Well, but now what happens if it's full season?
Oh, if it's full season, they're done. Like, throw the season away at that point. But I don't think it's going to be a full season.
No.
Because a judge already ruled on it, dude. Like, a judge that the NFL hired ruled on it.
Yeah, but then you've got the commissioner saying that they have enough. Oh my God, what's it called? Justification. They have enough evidence that it should be a full year suspension.
I mean, it should, dude.
And that's the commissioner coming in and say that.
Yeah, but I mean, Roger Goodell says a lot of shit.
That's true.
And it should be a full year. You know, yeah. I'm not saying that I'm against a full year. I'm just saying that I have a hard time seeing him being suspended for a full year when a judge they hired ruled that he was going to be suspended 6 games, and now they're appealing their own judge they hired. So it's I don't know where it's going to end up. 8 games, maybe half a year. But if Jacoby Brissett goes 4-4, you know, they have a great shot at making the playoffs still. As long as the playoffs are out of the realm of possibility at that point.
With that division, though?
The division's tough, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But a healthy Browns team with Deshaun Watson is probably the best team in that division, talent-wise. Because they have a ton of talent, dude. Defensively, they have a ton of talent. Offensively, they have the best offensive line in the division. They got Amari Cooper, who's maybe the best wide receiver in the division.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
they lose their starting center, though. He got hurt for the year. That is a big blow.
Yeah, and then their number 2 wide receiver is gone for the year. So, I mean, I think
wide receivers though, sometimes, Ben, lose a wide receiver and a dude comes out of nowhere and balls the fuck out.
I mean, I still think Pittsburgh has the better defense.
Who's the number 2 wide receiver you're talking about?
Who was it? His last name Smart?
Nah, he ain't no number 2. Their number 2 wide receiver is Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he's still there.
Who was it that they just lost for the season? I know they lost their center. Grant.
Nah, he ain't their number 2.
With the torn Achilles.
That is a blow, though. But unless you lose Amari Cooper, like, other guys can be replaced. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to replace Amari Cooper's production. You can replace another guy's production, especially if you have Deshaun Watson out there. He can make guys look better. But yeah, I mean, it's. I'm not saying it's a downhill. They're coasting, dude. Like, it's definitely going to be a battle up at 6 or 8 games. But I would say that they are the most talented team in that division with Deshaun Watson. Like, that was a talented team last year with bad quarterback play. Because in Baker Mayfield, we got to remember Baker Mayfield was hurt last year. He was throwing with a bad shoulder.
That's true.
That's why, to me, like, if Carolina gets the good
Watson hasn't played in a year and a half too. I think that's gonna take a little bit of time to.
Oh, it'll definitely take a little bit to gel, but it's like riding a bike, dude. I mean, we're talking about one of the best players in the league, dog. You know what I mean? We're not talking about we're not talking about just an average guy. Like, you know, Deshaun Watson's won a national title in college. He's played at a very high level in the NFL. Like, he's that good.
Yeah.
I think we forget about that because of the outside shit he's done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And where he was in Houston.
Well, the talent around him was fucking terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should we take a break and then hop into baseball? We're at 30 minutes right now.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Hold on one second.
I still got a little beer left, but
before we get to that, have you watched A League of Their Own on Amazon Prime?
Like the movie?
Nah, dude, they just came out with a new show.
Oh no, haven't seen it.
Dude.
I saw a commercial for it.
Oh, bro, so good.
Okay. I saw the commercial. I thought it was the movie. I'm like, yeah, I'll watch that movie anytime. Like, I've seen that movie a million times and I'll watch it over and over again.
It's like the same storyline and obviously still in the World War II era.
Yeah.
But they added like more depth to it. Like a lot of like what homosexuals went through in the time period and like the race. It's really is deep, bro. But you should watch it, dude. Everybody should watch it. The guy that actually produced the movie followed me on Twitter today. Shout out to him because I posted something about it. I said A League of Their Own is actually surprisingly really, really good. And I think that why I liked it so much was because it wasn't just the same, Ben. But let's take a break real quick because I wanted you to finish some of that beer before we get back. And then we'll hop right back in and we will we got a lot of baseball to talk about. So y'all definitely gonna want to stay tuned for this. And we got best bets. So stay locked. We'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
right. We are back. Thank you for hanging with us. We had to reload. I still got to finish mine real quick. I extended to let you finish your beer, and I need to finish my beer.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, while you're finishing that, I'm going to start with letting everybody know what I am drinking. So I'm drinking a beer from Fieldwork. So I mentioned last week that right down the street from me now is Fieldwork Brewery. It's just one of their tap rooms. Their major brewery is in Sacramento area, but I get to get the fresh stuff here, and I'm going to be drinking a West Coast Pale Ale tonight, and this is called Psychedelic Cures, and it's a 5.4%, so it's a really low percentage pale ale here, but it is brewed with Amarillo hops. Great can art too. I mean, you just talk about psychedelic cures. Yeah. So
where's that from?
It is from Fieldwork. So
nice.
Right down the street from me, which I am so excited about. I've lived here now for 2 weeks, and I've already been 3 times now. So
John's a fucking peninsula hipster now.
There we go. Hey, great beer, and their beers are so cheap.
Did you get a pair of Clarks yet?
No, I've got my what are the Birkenstocks? They're already coming.
You gotta get some
those with my socks.
Oh, there you go. And you gotta get a North Face sweater too, dude.
Oh, I got that, bro. I got that.
All right, there you go. You gotta, you just gotta fill it all in, dude.
Oh yeah.
For those of you not from the Bay Area, you're probably like, dude, what the fuck are they talking about? But for those of you from the Bay Area, you know exactly what we're fucking talking about.
So what I love about even more is that these pints are $3.59 to take home.
What?
Yeah, if you're taking an individual can. So I will take it all day, every day. So,
dude, what year is this? Is this 1994?
And it sounds like it, right?
Jesus.
Inflation, what?
Yeah, what?
Huh? Yeah.
Whoa, shout out to Fieldworks Brewery.
A pour is $8, and then if you take a beer home, it's $4 a can.
Oh, so you got to get one there and then take it one home.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but
yeah,
it's still awesome.
I go and have a beer or two, bring 2 beers back, and it's like $20.
Dude,
it's
let's
beautiful.
go.
Yeah.
All right, I'm drinking.
Is that Mango Cart?
Is it what?
Mango Cart?
No, dude, it's a Dewey beer.
Oh, that's right. It's Dewey. Sorry.
Secret.
It looks like it's very similar to the can.
Well, yeah, and it also has pineapple, grapefruit, and orange. So it's not mango, but pretty, paradise. Yeah. But this is the Secret Machine, Ben.
Okay.
So we're drinking that one for the second one. We'll see how this goes down. It smells really good though.
Awesome.
It smells like fucking dude. I don't know what everything smells like pineapple to me right now. I don't know why. This definitely smells like pineapple. Is there pineapple in here? Yeah, there is. Pineapple, grapefruit, orange. I think I said that too.
Yep.
I just pounded that half of that other beer. So if I start stumbling over my words, I'm sorry.
We know why. Yeah.
All right, let's move into some baseball, Ben. So we had a huge story break. I think it was Thursday, right? Thursday
night. Yes.
Yeah, Thursday night.
No, Friday.
Yes, Friday. You are right.
Friday. Yep.
Friday. Fernando Tatis Jr. Test positive for an illegal substance. He took a steroid supposedly for ringworms. It is banned from the MLB substance list, and it's a huge blow for the Padres because obviously they acquire Juan Soto, they acquire Brandon Drury, they acquire Josh Hader, and the entire thought process is, hey, we're going to have Tatis Jr., a lineup with Tatis Jr., Soto, and Manny Machado. And that's it.
And Josh Bell.
And Brandon Drury. And that's a lethal lineup, right?
Yeah.
Well, then this comes out. I think the entire baseball world, we were all shocked, man. We were all like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is crazy, dude. But the thing that hit me the most was what AJ Preller said the next day. And I'm going to put it up here for everybody to read. AJ Preller is the GM for the San Diego Padres. He said, and this is quoting, I think we're hoping that from the offseason to now that there would be some maturity. And obviously with the news today, it's more of a pattern and something we've got to dig a little bit more into. I'm sure he's very disappointed, but at the end of the day, it's one thing to say it. You have to start by showing it with your actions. I think what we need to get to is a point in time where we trust him. Over the course of the last 6 or 7 months, that's been something that we haven't been able to really have there. I think from our standpoint, obviously he's a great talent. He's a great guy. We have a lot of history with and do believe in, but things only work when there's trust both ways.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your take from that? Because this is a guy that had a wrist injury they didn't even tell the team about, obviously because there was a lockout.
And tell the team about how he did it. And we find out later that it's a motorcycle accident that was sitting on the back of the motorcycle doing stupid shit. So, I mean, I think it's something that he's probably in his mind thinking, I've got a big contract. I can do, whatever I want because I'm signed through 2034. So he's probably just thinking I can coast now and do what I want. And, it definitely doesn't surprise me that the team's coming out with this, but at the same time, this is a big slap to the face by your owner, GM?
Yeah, GM, AJ Preller.
So it's hopefully it does light that fire under his ass, but at the same time it could really piss him off and make him demand a trade.
Who?
Tatis.
I mean, dude, you're signed for 11 years, dog. Good luck.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Good luck.
I mean, the kid's got talent though. The kid's got talent. The kid's got swagger. We were talking about this last year.
I was just about to say, we talked about this last year, and I was saying, I love Tatis, dude.
Yeah. I think he was dealing with injury last year as well. I think it's just more so that he has to become serious about it because he has to realize that, one, this is a ton of money that he's getting paid and he's missing out on this whole time. And the Padres have some expectations on this, but you're now a professional. You have to fulfill your contractual obligations. He's obviously not going to get fired, but he can get at that point you're not worried about that, but life can be a lot harder for you, and I don't think he necessarily realizes that.
I mean, I hate siding with the business side, or the organization. I hate siding with the billionaires over the millionaires, but I mean, dude, if I sign a guy and he fucks off he just threw a whole year down the drain, dude.
Yep. Year and a half now.
Yeah, well, I think it's only 20 games next
20
year.
games in the next season, yeah.
But still, I mean, he basically threw
30 games in.
He threw a whole calendar year basically been out of the window, dude. And it's dude, we're paying you, we gave you a substantial amount of money. You know what I mean? A substantial amount, a third of $1 billion we're giving you because we believe in you. We think you're that much to this organization, and you're over here fucking us, dude.
Yeah.
Excuse my language. But you are over here.
And then it takes it to a whole nother level because if Tatis is out for this year, I don't think they go as hard and empty their farm system on Soto.
I mean, Soto's still signed for another 2 years.
Another year after this one.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think you're going as,
because to be honest, even
as in on Soto.
But to be honest, though, Ben, with Tatis, do you think that the Padres would win the World Series?
I think there's a better chance.
No,
I mean, obviously, there's
no
a lot better chance. There's a lot better chance.
Can he pitch?
No,
dude, it don't even matter.
Yeah, but do you empty your farm system because they're not going to be able to get any better pitchers next year?
They could sign them. They got a lot of money, dude, because they're not paying their park. They paid off their park. That was a big part of why they weren't spending before, was because
but you got Darvish, who's going to be still on contract, who's 36. You got rid of Mackenzie Gore, who was one of your best pitching prospects.
Yep.
Then you got to throw a ton of money out there to get somebody else, and then you still have an LA team who's incredible. You get rid of Woods, you get rid of
That's
I mean,
that's the biggest problem, dude. Is that
yeah.
they're in the same division as the Dodgers. So,
You've got Manaea and you've got Clevenger who are free agents. Are they going to stay?
well, Manaea, I would say, here's your walking papers, bro. Good luck to you. You know what I mean? Like the A's might have finessed the Padres getting rid of Manaea, jumping him off on him. But I mean, like, all right. So I was watching the Peacock broadcast this morning on the Padres Nationals game. And I don't know if you're familiar with the Peacock broadcast, but every Sunday they have a game on Peacock, and they have their guy, their play-by-play guy, and then they bring in the color commentator for each team.
Yeah.
So they have the Nationals color commentator, which is he's that dude that used to play for the Giants, Ben. Oh my God, he used to do some Giants games too back in the day.
Javier Lopez?
Nah, not Javier Lopez. Like JP Saint.
Oh, yeah, Santangelo.
Yeah. They had him on there, and they had the Padres guy. I forget his name too, but the Padres guy, like the play-by-play announcer, I forget his name too. I don't know why it's blanking my mind, but it doesn't even matter. He asked the Padres guy, like, what's it like playing, against the Dodgers and having a rivalry against the Dodgers, and JP Santiago was like, I kind of find that disrespectful because the better rivalry is still the Dodgers and Giants. And I was like, yo, he's not lying. You know what I mean? Like, the Padres they're still like little brother. You know what I mean? Like, they haven't done anything to prove that they're on that level with the Dodgers or the Giants. And the Giants suck, but, they still won 3 World Series in the last 12 years, right? So it's like, they're not on that level. And we can't just put them there because they acquire Juan Soto. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and they spend money.
This is still a team that needs to do something. And last year they were like in first place in the NL West and they choked it. Dude, they were like the worst team in the second half of the season. Didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. But I just don't see how they're going to I don't see how they're going to get better next year.
They can. They have money, bro. They can.
I know they have money, but then they have to get pitchers to come to San Diego. And I guess
but if you're a pitcher, that's a good place to go. It's like San Francisco.
Park.
You know what I mean?
But you have. I mean, it all depends on the free agents too. If you have, if you have Bell bouncing, if you have who was their other batter that's possibly going to be leaving? Why can't I remember who I was reading? There's one more bat leaving, but if you have a questionable Tatis who you're not sure where his mind is at for the game, you have Machado signed through 2028, a year possibly of Soto. Are you going to sign more than a year deal there, or at least have another year where you have that possibility of an opt-out? But you aren't going to want to go distance with a team that hasn't shown that they can do anything.
Who, Soto?
No, Soto, one of them, but a pitcher coming in.
Yeah, but I mean, like, for a pitcher, like, it's only going to improve his numbers pitching in Petco. I mean, look at Carlos Rodon for the Giants. Dude is like a 1.97 ERA in Oracle Park, and then he has like a 3.75 ERA away from there. Like, I think it's only beneficial if I'm a pitcher, especially on a prove-it deal, because it's like, okay, I get to pitch half my starts in Petco. Like, sign me up, dude. But
so you get 1-year deals here and there.
You could get 1-year deals, but I mean, you can always develop pitching. And they still have Blake Snell, and Blake Snell has, he's arguably been their best pitcher in the last month and a half. And then Joe Musgrove is like good. He just can't pitch third time through a order. Maybe he'll figure it out. Maybe there's something on the film that he sees like, okay, I'm becoming too predictable, right?
You'd expect that already though. If
I mean, you always got to adjust, dude. That's baseball.
Yeah.
Right? Like Kevin Gausman, he was getting knocked around for a little bit, ends up being really good, and then today gives up 5 runs against a team that doesn't swing it like they only swing at pitches in the zone, and the Guardians and knock him for 5 runs. So I mean, baseball's a game of adjustments. It's about how you adjust to them. So I think that's the biggest thing. But obviously Manaea, like, he doesn't throw a lot of heat. So like he has to be precise on his location. And that's a lot more difficult than a guy like Joe Musgrove who could throw 95, 96. You know what I mean? Like you can always pound it by him. And same with Blake Snell. Blake Snell throws like 97. So like when you can throw that kind of heat, it's easier to pitch than a guy like Minaya. So they can absolutely go sign guys, Ben.
They're gonna have to sign a number 2 and a number 3.
And they can do it. You know, if they want to spend that kind of money, if they're going to compete with the Dodgers, they have to do it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where the Giants are too. Like that was the biggest thing. That was the biggest thing for me was like the Giants sat there at the trade deadline. They sat on their hands.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Like you're not.
When they didn't
you
get
just
Soto,
lost
they
8 in a
should
row
have
to the
unloaded
Dodgers.
everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
You lost 8 in a row to them. Like,
yeah,
you're not on their level.
It's not going to change. Yeah.
It's just baseball's a funny sport like that.
Yeah.
Do you think
why just be mediocre for a mediocre draft pick?
I mean, like if you can make it to the playoffs, anything's possible. You're a Giants fan, dude.
They're
you
still
know that.
What, 5.5 games back?
Yeah, no, the
5
Giants have
games
no.
back now?
The Giants have no chance now.
I mean, they have a chance, but it's not good.
They have a very, very slim chance.
I saw it. Giants had a 62.8% chance of making the playoffs. Better than the Cardinals, just below the Braves.
Right now?
Yeah.
No fucking chance.
I mean, we know the ESPN playoff percentages are all messed up from basketball, but right now ESPN is giving them a 62.8% chance of making the playoffs.
No.
St. Louis Cardinals have a 41.3%.
St. Louis Cardinals are in first place in their division, and the fucking team chasing them fucking sucks.
They have a tough schedule for the remainder of the year.
Who are they playing? The Brewers? Because the Brewers suck.
Pulling up their schedule right now.
The Cubs? The Cubs are actually playing pretty well, actually. They lost to the Reds today, but they've been playing pretty good. Pirates? Like, that's their division, dude. They play in the weakest division.
Yeah. Oh, they have, holy shit. They have 9 games against the Pirates. 3, 5, 8 against the Cubs. What?
Yeah, that don't make any sense, Ben.
3, 5 against Cincinnati. They've got 3 against San Diego, 3 against LA, 3 against Atlanta.
Those are tough. That's 9 tough games. That doesn't make up. Then they got the Pirates for 9.
Milwaukee. 4 against Milwaukee, 9 against Pittsburgh, 4 against Washington, 3 against Colorado, and 3 against Arizona.
So they play 9. They play 9 games against a winning team.
I'm just saying what the numbers on ESPN says. So.
Well, ESPN needs to hire me to do their numbers because that's atrocious, dude. How are you giving a team 41% chance when they have 9 games left against winning teams and they play like 50 games? So they have 41 against losing teams. That doesn't make any sense.
Let's see. Hold on.
That makes no. I mean, obviously the Brewers are going to play an easy schedule too. They obviously have the Pirates, the Reds, Cubs.
So Giants have 6 against San Diego, 6 against LA, 3 against Atlanta, but they could play the Rockies.
Who?
7 times.
The Brewers?
No, Giants. No, they play the Rockies 10 times.
All in
Arizona.
Colorado.
No.
Majority of them, though?
Yeah, 7 of the 10 are in Colorado.
Colorado's good at home, dude.
They play Arizona 7 times. No, 10 times.
Arizona swept them last time.
Detroit twice. Minnesota 3 times. San Diego 6. LA 6. Chicago 3.
Yeah, the Giants are cooked, dog.
Atlanta 3.
Giants are cooked.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
There's no way they have a better chance of making the playoffs than the Cardinals. That's absolute horseshit, dude.
That is one big pile of shit.
I'm just telling you what ESPN says. So.
Dude, somebody at ESPN, come holler at me, please. Like, what are we doing here, dude?
Tell me how you got these numbers. Yeah.
These people in ESPN, they definitely not winning money betting because there's no fucking way.
Yep.
No chance. Oh my god. Well, let's talk about some of these playoff races, man. Let's talk about the AL first. Or let's talk about NL since we're there. So the Giants, a huge long shot, 6 back. They got to still pass the Brewers, who are 1.5 back. But also Philadelphia, San Diego, Atlanta. Atlanta is basically guaranteed a playoff spot. They're still fighting for the division, 5.5 back of the Mets. They start a big 3-game series against the Mets on Monday.
Yeah.
How do you I guess, what are the odds we got for these teams to make playoffs? Let's see. Because,
I mean, I like what I mentioned last week, and I'm definitely going to be bringing that back when we talk about the AL. Plus 300 odds there.
For who?
Good for me. Minnesota not making the playoffs.
Bro, Minnesota just won 2 out of 3 against the Angels.
Yeah, they're still 2 games back.
But they did the Orioles a fucking huge favor today by losing, because the Orioles came in on to this Rays series, and the Rays had lost 2 in a row to the Milwaukee Brewers. And the Brewers have looked dead in the water since All-Star break. The Rays lose 2 or 3 to them, and they lose the last one in it was just on Thursday, atrocious how they lost it. Or was that Thursday or no, that was Wednesday. Then they go into the series against the Orioles. They give up, I think it was 17 hits to the Orioles on Friday. They lose big time to the Orioles on Friday, but then they bounce back and win 2. Now the Orioles are a 1.5 back. They had control of a wild card spot coming into that series. Yep. They start DL Hall on Saturday. DL Hall gets fucking shelled. They send DL Hall back to fucking Norfolk, AAA. For those that don't know, DL Hall is one of the top pitching prospects for the Orioles. Top pitching prospect Grayson Rodriguez is coming back from an injury right now. But starting pitching is definitely the Orioles' issue. So I thought the Rays, it was beneficial for them. They're getting a lot of momentum. Drew Rasmussen almost pitched a perfect game today. Just some horrendous at-bats by the Orioles. I was like, dude, what the fuck are you guys doing, dude? Swinging at first pitches. Just nasty stuff, dude, what that was going on. But the AL's a little bit tighter, man. Because the Blue Jays, the Orioles, and the Rays they're going to play each other a lot.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah.
So it's how do we think this is going to shake out here?
I mean, I still think we're going to get 3 teams from that division, and you've already got the Yankees, who haven't necessarily clinched, but they're likely to take that, and then you've got Toronto and Tampa Bay. Not Tampa Bay, then you've got Baltimore. So, it's a 1.5 back. I still think Baltimore just falls a little bit short. But I think Seattle takes it. I think Seattle takes that top spot. Toronto's going to take the number 2 spot. And then from there, is it Cleveland? Is it Minnesota? I don't know. It's a tough one because you've got such tight races in the Central, and then for that last wild card spot. I mean, looking at it, I'd probably go Cleveland to take the division, 2.5 games up on Minnesota in the division.
Yeah, Cleveland's gonna make this. They're definitely gonna do that. What's the date today?
The 15th.
14th, technically.
14th, yeah.
So we don't have any updated odds, but these are the most updated odds to make the playoffs. We got the Guardians -165, yes, White Sox plus 105, yes. We have the Orioles plus 500, yes. Boston Red Sox plus 425.
What's the Twins no? What's that change from last week? Because they were at plus 300 no.
Twins are plus 105, yes, to make it no minus 130.
Wow, what a change. I hope all y'all took that last week when it was plus 300.
Yeah. I definitely think the Guardians are by far the best team in that division. I mean, like, their lineup to me is so underrated, dude. Like, Ahmad Rosario, Jose Ramirez, Steven Kwan from Stanford. I mean, that lineup just
in the future it's going to be on point as well.
But it's on point right now. Like, they make contact, dude. Like,
system.
They're no easy outs, dude, in that lineup. Like, they're not gonna just roll over, bro. They're gonna make contact, and your defense has to play. And they can pitch, dude. Shane Bieber, Cal Quantrill, Tristan McKenzie's been really good.
Yep.
So I definitely think Cleveland's gonna win that. I definitely think they're gonna win that division. As far as the wild cards going, I mean, this Baltimore-Toronto series coming up is huge, dude.
Yeah.
Because if Baltimore, if they continue beating Toronto like they were doing in Baltimore, I mean, we're talking about a completely different thing here.
Yeah. I mean, Toronto can, if Baltimore goes in and sweeps, Toronto can be out of the wild card.
Yeah.
For the week.
But this weekend kind of showed me, I mean, obviously the Orioles, they faced Shane McClanahan on Saturday. Right. But they were like hitting him, dude. It was just going like right to people, and then DL Hall obviously couldn't make enough outs. You know what I mean? They'll end up losing. But today against Drew Rasmussen, like, it reminded me of like an A's playoff game when like the A's during the regular season play with this free spirit and like just play so well, and then come playoff time the Sphinxter closes, and then every pitch is just more amplified, and they were swinging at bad pitches early in counts. It was bad baseball, dude, and they looked like a young team. That's what they looked like.
Yeah. Well, I think the crazy thing here is this wild card position is too much in the air to put any value on it, because if you look at the schedule for Toronto, they play Baltimore 13 times.
13.
They play 13 times. They play Tampa Bay 5. They play Tampa Bay 9 times. Tampa plays Baltimore. Sorry, I'm pulling up that schedule right now. Tampa Bay plays. Oh, Tampa Bay does not play Baltimore again.
Nah, they're done, dude. They each split the home road.
Yeah.
So they're done. They're done for the year.
But then you look at that. What? Oh man. Oh, Tampa Bay plays New York 9 more times.
But that might be a good thing.
They play Houston 6 times. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Tampa's got a rough schedule, dude.
They got a rough schedule going forward. You got Cleveland 3 times.
Tampa right now to make the playoffs, Ben, yes, plus 130, no, minus 155.
Wow.
Seattle Mariners, yes, minus 800, no, plus 600. So the Mariners, we can basically pencil them in because, they got the A's, Rangers, Angels to play.
Yeah.
It's really going to come down to that AL East and AL Central, in my opinion, because all those teams are beating each other up. The books in the market still love the White Sox.
Yeah.
I don't understand why, dude. These motherfuckers suck.
They got an easy schedule for the remainder.
They've had an easy schedule all the second half of the year, dude, and they're still not even taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
Ben, this team is just not good, and at some point we just got to like come to grips with it. Like they're not a good team.
Oh,
They're average at best.
ESPN just took down the playoff percentage numbers.
Oh, so they must be updating it right now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting, the AL wildcard race. I don't want to count the Orioles out, dude, but I thought this weekend was massively important for them because I thought if they took 2 or 3 from the Rays, they're like sitting real good. And now it's like, you lose 2 or 3, you go into that series in a wild card spot, you come out 1.5 back. I just thought it's a huge blow, dude. But Minnesota losing to the Angels today definitely helped their position.
Yeah.
So they still got a chance. They got a big series against Toronto. They just gotta come back together, man. They gotta do this thing. On the NL side, I mean, to be honest, dude, I think the playoffs are already set. I don't see the Milwaukee Brewers making the playoffs. I don't see the Giants making the playoffs. I think we got Philly, San Diego, Atlanta in the wild card. I think that's how it's gonna be. And the market agrees with me. Philadelphia, yes, minus 370 to make it, no, plus 290. We got the Padres minus 700, yes, no, plus 500. Giants, yes, plus 1,200, no, minus 2,000. And then we have, who else do we have in there? Oh, the Braves, yes, minus 5,000. They're definitely making it. There's no chance they don't make it.
Yeah.
I just find it hard. Like, these other teams are just too far back. The Giants got to play the Dodgers. The Dodgers have fucking owned them. They got to play the Padres, who are fighting for a playoff spot too, with something to prove. Obviously, Philadelphia, they still got to play the Mets and Braves. But Philadelphia, in my opinion, like, they have a better roster than the Brewers or the Giants.
Yeah, agreed.
Especially getting Harper. They're going to get Bryce Harper back. And their pitching's a lot better,
At some
dude.
point.
Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola are 2 of the best pitchers in the National League.
When is Bryce coming back?
He should be back this month.
Yeah. 12 hours ago, Phillies Nation updated this. Dude, Bryce Harper is getting closer to the September-ish return. We'll start taking live batting practice on Monday.
It's a huge step.
Yep.
Huge step.
Yep.
All right, let's talk
Still
about
not
our.
throwing.
He's still not throwing?
No.
No, it's his left wrist, right?
Yeah.
He'll start throwing as soon as
No,
he starts.
right. So team scaled back.
Oh, yeah,
his
he
throwing.
throws with his
He's
right
still not
hand.
throwing. Team scaled back his throwing progression last week after Harper experienced some stiffness in his right elbow.
Yeah, because he already had that elbow injury.
Yeah. Yep.
So
All right.
let's move into our top 5 teams of the week, Ben. Who you got for your top 5 this week?
All right. No change in the teams, but the positionings have changed, and I am moving the New York Yankees back to number 5. Number 5 from first to worst in my top 5 here.
They weren't number 1 for you last week.
No, not last week. No. I'm just saying from first to worst. During the season. So 2-4 this week, 8-10 in their last. 2-8 in their last 10.
You also did change up teams in your top 5.
Did I?
Yeah, that's okay. Keep going. Sorry.
Houston, New York. Oh, I did. I dropped St. Louis out of there. Okay. So New York, you got a taste of what's coming ahead. So New York Yankees, 70-43, 2-4 this week, 2-8 in their last 10. They haven't won a series all month, and that's against Boston, Seattle twice, the Cardinals, which they should be winning those series in my opinion. They have the Rays, the Blue Jays, and the Mets. Then they have the Angels and the A's at the end of the month. So they're 10 games up on Toronto. I still think they'll easily, keep number 2 in the AL behind Houston there. but you know, it's a downhill trend for the Yankees here, which is not too pretty. And it's also weird not doing this with music behind me. Number 4, we're gonna
We
go
don't do
Atlanta.
this with music.
We usually do this with music, yeah.
Oh, not the
Number
top
4, we're gonna
5.
go with Atlanta at
Come
70
on,
and
dog.
46. They're 6-0 this week on a 6-game winning streak. 7-3 in their last 10. Number 3, we're gonna go with Houston Astros, 75 and 41 on the season, 5-1 this week, 7-3 of their last 10. Really easy week. This last week they had the Rangers and the A's. The second half of August is going to be a little bit harder than the first. There's still 2.5 games up on the Yankees. The Yankees do have a little bit easier schedule, but the way that the Yankees are playing, I think Houston is still going to take that top spot in the AL. Number 2, we're going to go with the New York Mets, 75 and 40, 5-1 this last week, 8-2 in their last 10. Coming off an easier week as well, coming against the Reds and the Phillies. Phillies are definitely the better of those two teams. And come season. I'm still surprised they're up at the top. Still waiting for the miracle Mets to become the misfortunate Mets. We'll see where it goes. So right now they are at number 2. Number 1, LA Dodgers, 4-1 this last week, 9-1 in their last 10. Only loss was to Kansas City today. Games against the Royals are ones that you should be winning, but if you're only losing 1 game a week, you're not doing half bad. So next 14 games consist of 7 against the Brewers, 7 against the Marlins. I expect them to take 12.
Well, the Marlins can't score, dog. So
yeah.
You really only got to score 2 runs to win a game.
I wouldn't be surprised if they take 6 of 7 against the Marlins, maybe 7 of 7 against the Marlins, sweep both those series, and then wouldn't be surprised if they take 5 of 7 against Milwaukee. So,
I like it. My top 5 this week, I'm going Braves number 5. They lost 4 or 5 to the Mets, but they bounced back nicely this week, going 5-0. Number 4, I'm not going to put the Yankees as low as you, Ben, which is surprising, but I'm going to put the Yankees at number 4. Last 14 days, only hitting 231, Ben, as a team, and they're averaging around 3 runs a game, so a little bit less, actually, than 3 runs a game. They're basically the Marlins, actually, on offense. That's what it's become. Number 3, I'm going with the Houston Astros, 5-1 this week. You said it. They had a very easy schedule, but I think that's important because it allowed them to bounce back and regain their confidence. I think it's gonna be good going forward. Number 2, I'm going to the Mets. I mean, this team, dude, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense, but they just continue to win. I get it, dude. They have DeGrom, they have Scherzer, but aside from that, it's a lot of mediocrity, but they just win. And I got to attribute a lot of that to Buck Showalter, who's their manager. Number 1, I'm going the Dodgers, 79 and 34. They won 12 in a row before facing Brady Singer, and let's be honest, man. Brady Singer's been really good in the last month. He even shut down the Yankees. So, give me the Dodgers number 1.
Let's go, y'all.
Well, let's get some best bets for the people, Ben. What do we got for Monday?
All right, so I am going to be doing another Nerfy bet. No runs first inning here.
Tell me it's the Marlins.
Yep, exactly, against the Marlins.
What is that?
Here.
Minus 165?
San Diego versus the Marlins here. We're gonna go no run first inning because we've got Musgrove on the hill.
Yeah, but what's the vig? Is it minus 165?
I don't know. My book didn't have it listed, so
okay.
I'm not going by the book. I'm going by.
Okay, but how much are you willing to lay on it? What's the max you would be willing to lay?
I mean, it depends how much you're going to be laying on it. If you're going to be laying a full unit, I mean, you're going to be making money on it. So
I'm saying, would you lay minus 145, minus 160? Because I'm telling you right now, there's no way Nerfy in this bet is going to be anything less than minus 145.
I'd go to 150 area on this one.
Okay.
It definitely would be okay at 150, making half of what I'm putting back in, putting in.
Because I too was gonna make this a best bet, but
yeah,
I too didn't see any numbers, and I think that the books are gonna. I think they're gonna majorly juice this dude.
Yeah, but I mean, a win's a win. You can make money on it, whether it's at a high vig or not. So, I think you can look at Musgrove, who's in the first inning has got a 1.8 ERA. You can look at Alcantara, who in the first inning has got a 1.57 ERA. And you can just look at this thinking, both of these pitchers do not let runs come in the first inning. Their batting averages against in the first inning are incredible as well. Alcantara 150, 167. You got a 206 going against Musgrove in the first. Then you got to look at what these teams are doing when they're on offense scoring runs here. You got San Diego, who is 22nd in the MLB at 0.44 runs in the first inning. And then you've got Miami, who is second to last at 0.27 runs per inning within the first inning there. So definitely should be an easy win for you at San Diego and Miami. Nerfy. Oh, he's such a hater.
No, I'm not a hater, dude. Because that I was gonna make that my best
W
bet.
is a W.
No, but it is, but it's not, because like, if you lay minus 165, so if you lay 165 to win 100 and you lose, that's a bad loss, dude.
That's true.
And you said it yourself. Their ERAs were 1.57 and 1.67, so it's not like they have 0 ERAs in the first inning.
That's
so
true.
There is a chance they could give up a run in the first inning.
But you look at the teams that they're facing, and Miami, who one does not score. And
Musgrove ain't gonna give up a run. It's Alcantara that I'm worried about.
Yeah. But even then, San Diego scores less than half the time in the first innings, and Alcantara is pretty good in the first inning. Not one of the best pitchers.
I don't hate it. I don't love it. It all depends on the vig. Because like I said, I was gonna make that one of my best bets too, dude.
Yeah.
But because there was no vig, I stayed away. I got 2 best bets for tomorrow. First one is the New York Mets money line plus 130 versus Atlanta. Strider's on the mound, but he's coming off a start where he went 2 2/3 innings and gave up 4 runs to the Mets. He's also approaching uncharted territory in innings pitched, so the regression, don't be surprised with it. Strider is electric stuff, but at this price, I'm absolutely taking the Mets at plus 130. They're 8-4 against the Braves, 19-5 since the All-Star break, including that 4-1 sweep against, or not 4-1 sweep, but 4-1 against Atlanta a week and a half ago. Carrasco has a 1.69 ERA since July 3rd, and the Mets are second in WRC plus since the All-Star break. Give me the Mets money line here. And then I'm taking the Mariners money line, which I got at plus 130. It's already come down to plus 105 at some books against the Angels. Shohei Ohtani's on the mound, but since the All-Star break, is a 3.75 ERA. And 2 of the starts he's had since the All-Star break have been against the A's. All right, Let's keep that in mind. And Luis Castillo, as a Mariner, has not allowed a run. Since the All-Star break, the Angels are 18th in WRC plus versus right-handed pitching at home. And I'm not going to put a ton into the Mariners' offensive stats because Julio Rodriguez has been out, but he is back, Ben.
Yep.
This is a big series for the Mariners. Give me Mariners plus 130. Let's go. Let's head to this window. Let's cash these tickets, baby, and let's ride.
Oh, yeah. Well, before we end this tonight, we have got to look at the beers. I'm really interested in the new brewery that you kind of highlighted today.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, how was your sour? How was your IPA?
The sour was really good, actually. The sour ale is excellent. This was the Secret Machine Pineapple, Grapefruit, and Orange. I really like this one. It had like the sour taste to it, right? The bitterness. But it was also like very tasty, like something that I would drink over and over again. I'm gonna give this one a 4.25 out of 5. The IPA was good too, but to be honest, it was like a little hard to get down, which is why it took me so long to drink. With that being said, I mean, it was a good IPA, Ben.
Yeah.
But at that heavy, like, I don't know if I would drink it over and over again. That's something that, maybe I'll have with the dinner or something. Yeah. But
you're just gonna sip, not something you're gonna drink a lot of.
Exactly. I'm gonna give it a 3.75 out of 5. I'd probably drink it again. I don't know if I'd buy it again though.
Yep. What was your sour? What'd you rate that out of 5?
4.25.
Nice.
That was a good one. That was really good.
Nice.
They hit the nail on the head with that one,
Nice.
as people like to say.
There we go. Let's go, y'all. All right. So the first beer that I had tonight was the brewery, and this is Ghosts Are Red, and this was the fodder-aged ghost style beer with the Syrah grapes. I was a little worried about this for multiple reasons. It's a wheat style ale, had coriander in it. Neither of them played a big picture, and that's the big part of this, this beer. 5.6%. This was a beer that you could definitely drink a lot of. This was an interesting beer because as it's a fodder aged beer, it really reminded me of the old style sours that we had, where it was just that the taste of tart to be tart, and like it almost went to that. It brought me back to those first sours that we had 5 years ago, 10 years ago, where it was just like that pucker. And I know that that's sours that you like. This brought me back to it, but it didn't remind me of enough of that, like, just I'm going to make this as sour as I can to be sour. So it just had a little bit of that, had a little bit of saltiness too, which really balanced it out. And then the sweetness of the Syrah grapes were a good play here. So nice. I'm going to give this one a 4.75. I think this is one of the best ghosts that I've had. And it's a beer that I will definitely go out and find again. I'll send it over to you along with the other brewery one, the stout. These are two beers that have really brought me back to the brewery and wanting to drink more of the brewery's beers. I'm really happy with this one at 5.6%. You can drink it a lot too. It took me a while to drink it down because I was savoring it. So great beer. Second beer that I had was the Psychedelic Cures. This was the 4.5% West Coast Pale Ale. I'm a huge pale fan. It wasn't necessarily my favorite. It was a little heavy. The clarity wasn't necessarily there. I don't want to say it was a hazy, but it was like it almost seemed like it was medium filtered. So it left a little bit of the haziness there, but it wasn't overly like you're drinking a loaf of bread. So 5.4%. It was alcohol level was pretty good. Taste was good. It just was nothing necessarily to write home about. Mouthfeel did kind of leave a little bit of a film on your mouth. So, it was meh. Aroma was meh. Not bad. I'm going to give this one a 3.75. I would drink it again.
All right.
I've had it on tap. In the can, I don't know if I say it was any better or any worse. I was hoping there was going to be a little bit of a difference here. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't great. Might not just have hit my taste buds right.
Yeah.
Especially coming out after the sour. So, yeah, not a bad beer. Not a great beer. But definitely something you could drink, and I would drink again. So,
all right.
Good stuff.
It's fair.
Yep.
I dig it.
Yep. Next week, I'm going to come back with another local beer from San Mateo here. We're going to get an Alpha Acid onto the show and, change it up a little bit. I got new local breweries to go to, so why not do it? But that is going to be for next week. It is time for us to say goodbye. Thank you all for listening and watching the Taproom Sports Podcast. We will be back tomorrow with Jordan and Swerve and Irvin. They're going to be talking all of Monday night action. Looking at games that are going to be happening on Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
We're going to be back on Tuesday. We'll talk about the games from Tuesday and look at Wednesday night action. And then Jordan and Irving are going to be back on Wednesday to look at college football.
The SEC, baby.
It never ends. It never ends. So we got a big week planned ahead. We got a ton of sports coming up. And, man, football's back. Baseball's back.
We're right there, dude.
Time of the year. Thank you again for listening. Make sure to check out our socials. Make sure to check us out on Twitter and Instagram
Yes,
Check out our website,
sir.
www.taproomsportspodcast. Go to Devour, download the Devour app, use promo code Taproom, get $10 off your first purchase of $25 or more. We will see y'all tomorrow.